Hi Trinity Rock and Pop Drummers, hope you're well. Little talk through video for you here for Jump by Van Halen. Trinity Rock and Pop Drums, grade 4. Really cool little version of the classic Van Halen tune. From the top, you've obviously got the big old keyboard riff, and we come in with, on drums, could be one crash, could be two. I'd say ideally a couple of crashes is great here. You can either do both together or alternate. In terms of the theory, we've got 3 bars rest there, 3 bars tacit at the beginning. We've then got a bar that has a 2-beat rest, a minim rest, that's the little black rectangle, a quarter note or crotchet rest, which is the big upright squiggle, an 8th note or quaver or half a beat rest, which is the funny little letter Y thing, and then a crash with a kick on the and of beat 4, and then the next bar, which is bar 5, I guess overall, it goes 1 and 2. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2. Of course, you can just play this one by ear as well. You can hear that, man. Hopefully, if you got to grade 4, you're at this point, boom, 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 in time with this track. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge by ear. Then you got another 2-bar rest, and this drum fill. Oh, this drum fill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So this drum fill comes in on the and of beat 1. So 1 and. So here you've got a quaver rest and then 2 semi-quavers, 1 and-er on beat 1. You've then got 2 and-er, classic grade 1 figure. In fact, all the rhythm figures in this piece are from grade 1 actually. So a classic rhythm figure from grade 1, ba, ba, ba. So quaver, 2 semi-quavers, 8th note, 2 16th notes. So the first half of this bar, bar 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1 and 2. Second half, beat 3, 3 and 2 8th notes on the mid-tom, and then 1 big, dirty great flam on the snare drum, beat 4, right? On a quarter note. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2. Okay? I'll play the intro, first bar. Second bar, third bar, fourth bar, here come the hits. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, here we go, 1. Hope that's cool. Then we're into the verse. It goes. Bump, bump, back, bump, bump, back. So 2 kicks on the 8th note and then a snare on the quarter note. I'm hoping at grade 4 that's cool. If it isn't, you might be doing the wrong grade, mate. But I think you'll be alright with that. On grade 4, cool. And then we've got a drum fill at 24 before the pre-chorus that goes 40 and another classic grade 1 figure. 2 16th notes and 1 8th. Ba ba ba. Like the word motorbike. Evenly spaced out syllables. Ba ba ba. One time again, bar 24, just before the pre-chorus, last bar of the 3rd line. Ba, ba, ba. Now the pre-chorus kicks in. This is a cool, coordinated thing, man. Here we're going to play, broadly speaking, quarter notes on the ride cymbal. And the kick and the snare part weaves around a lot here. Let's go a bar at a time. Bar 1, or bar 25, I guess. It goes. So 1, 2, 3. So that would be a great place to start. Just do the first bar, spend some time with that. It's tempting to just try and play everything at once. The problem is we're at the point here where at grade 4, there's going to be sections in the tunes where you can't just play straight away, man. Like the whole thing with this is you break it down, you work out what's going on, you learn it, and that's why this is in grade 4, because it's basically a test of, is a drummer going to have the patience to do this? Are they going to bother to build their coordination? People sometimes think of coordination in very simple terms as something that people kind of weirdly innately have, or although they haven't. I think it's pretty much nonsense. There's such a thing as having an aptitude for things, of course, but basically you get good at this by just doing it, man. You start slow. I'm no exception to this. I've learned this slowly, and you show your brain and your hands and your feet one thing at a time what's happening. So let's do that. Beat 1 is the ride and the kick. Beat 2 is 2 and 2 8th notes. So the first half of 25, You could even spend a bit of time just doing that, couldn't you? 4. 4. Around on that. 3, beat 3 goes 3 and. So ride bell on 3 and snare on and. And then on for beat 4, a ride bell and a kick. So second half of this bar goes. So the whole bar goes first half, second half, whole bar on a loop, and I really recommend practicing these bars on a loop rather than just again trying to play it with the music straight away. Get to know it, make friends with your part first. Bar 25 on a loop. Alright, that's that bit. 26 goes. So beat 1. 1 and 2 8th notes. Ride bell and snare, then kick. Bar 26, beat 2. So the first half. See what we're doing? We're breaking it down. We're having a look. We're going note by note. We're thinking it in terms of the first beat and the second beat, and I really like to think in terms of the first half and the second half of the bar. I find that a really useful way of dividing it up. I think that works really well with a lot of the guys that that I work with here in the sessions learning this. So, first half of bar 26. Second half. So 3 and 4 and. Ride with kick twice. Snare, ride with kick. So bar 26 recap, first half. Second half. Whole thing, bar 26. Now, top tip, if you're one of the people that at this point goes, this is hard, there's a reason there's a number 4 on the front of the book. It's supposed to be a challenge. You have to take your time and you have to build it up. They don't just give away grade 4, man. You've got to earn it. So that's what you're looking at here. You're looking at learning the part. Try, man. Like, it's hard. It's like it takes time. Yeah, it's hard. It took me some time. I just sat and I worked at it. This is, I think we're at a really interesting point in the grades here. This is the point where, like, it comes down to do you want to play the drums well or not? And if you do, you got to sit with this, work on it, man. You'll get it. You'll get it. I believe in you. You'll get it. Right. 25, 26. Here we go. I'm going to loop 25 and 26 a little bit. Again. So sometimes when you loop sections like this, especially when it's multiple bars, I often think it's nice to maybe have a little bars break after each time round, because what you don't want to do is end up getting into weird bits of coordination that don't actually feature in the song just because you're looping it. So maybe take a little break at the end. So play 25, 26. Do 25 and 26 again. Last time. Okay, next to 27 and 28. There you go. So first bar, 27. We've got 1, 2 for the first half. Quarter notes, crash with kick, right cymbal and snare. We've then got 3 and 4 and, which goes. This is the second half of bar 27. So 3 and 4 and. Whole of bar 27. Here we go. And again, whole of bar 27. Now going into 28, you've got some tied notes there. Remember, when 2 notes are tied together, the first note lasts for the value of both the notes put together. So effectively, we will rest beat 1 of bar 28 there. We just leave that one out. So you only hit the crash once. Then, so we've got a nice easy ride really, haven't we? In 28, that just goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to play the whole of that 2-bar phrase now. 27 and 28. I'm going to loop it through 27. And last time, here we go. Okay, hopefully this is making a bit of sense. It's supposed to take some time. If you're still saying, oh, it's really hard this, if you're saying the phrase, I'm struggling with this, I'm not getting this, it's because you haven't worked on it enough. It takes time, it takes multiple sessions. It might take you a few weeks to learn this, man. You've got to grade 4, superb, congratulations. And now, because a testament to the fact you've got to this point, you're being presented with challenging material. That's cool, keep going, you'll get it. Right, 25, I'm going to play 25, 26, 27, 28. Here we go. And again, man, 25 to 28, 2, 3, 4. Nice, man. So just take your time with it, break it down, build it up, a bar at a time, stick 2 bars together, and then run the 4 bars. If you find yourself saying the phrase, I'm struggling with this, it probably means you're doing it right, honestly. I always think, one thing I've learned over the years here is, if someone says the phrase, I'm struggling with, and then they say a thing which is just quite complex, it probably means that they've been practicing really hard on it, because what this is quite a complicated thing, man, for grade 4. So if you're struggling with it, not that I like the idea of people struggling, but it does mean you're going about it in the right way. This is supposed to be a challenge. I can't stress that enough. This isn't supposed to happen instantly. Play it one time again, 25 to 28. Okay, next bit, 29. Okay, that was 29 to 33. Let's do it. 29 goes just that bar itself. So you might notice this is the same as the bar we've already seen. It's the same as, hold on, same as bar 27. 29 we're doing now, same as bar 27. 30, same as, am I getting this right? Yes, same as 28. 30, same as 28. So that 2-bar phrase, same again. That's pretty cool, isn't it? And so now you've got the same again for 31 and 32. And the only difference now is at the end, we've got 1 extra bar tagged on. This is the bar before the chorus, 33, and it goes 1 and a, so quaver, 2 semi-quavers, 2 and 3 and 4. The rhythm is ba 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 ba. Always think, get the rhythm clear in your head first, man. So you got 1, and then 2 and 2 8th notes. So the first half of bar 33. Second half, just 3 and 4. 3. So whole of bar 33. Okay, here I go, man. 29, 30, 31, 32 and 33. Remember that this is just the same 2-bar phrase that you had at 27 and 28, played twice with that extra bar of drum fill tagged on at the end. From 29. And now, just for fun, I'm going to play the whole pre-chorus, starting at 25. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to say it again, right, one last time. This will take time to build up. I'm saying this, you might get it right straight away, but you might be one of those people, but great, good luck to you. But I'm assuming that you're like the rest of us mere mortals. This will take some time to build up, man, and you're not struggling with it. This isn't like too difficult. This is not an indication that you shouldn't be playing the drums. It's just something tricky, man. It's complex. It's a challenge. Rise to that challenge. Attempt it. Try your best. Go for it, man. You'll get it. You'll totally get it. Never seen anyone who won't get that in the end. Right, here we go, man. As long as they keep trying. Here we go, chorus. So nice and straightforward. It's really mostly boom, boom, ba, boom, boom, ba. We Will Rock You style kick and snare with an 8th note hi-hat. Most interesting bit is definitely at the start of the line each time, where you've got the crash on the 1 and a louder crash on the 2. Probably could have made more of that actually. And so on. Right, guitar solo goes like this. Something like that. Anyway, so it goes in the guitar solo. First bar, 42. Break it down, man. Beat 1. Quarter note, crashing kick. Beat 2. 2 and ride bell and snare, followed by kick. First half of the bar then. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. 3, 4. Second half of this bar. 3 and 4. So 3 and 4. So regular 8th notes, ride bell, snare for 3 and 4 and ride bell and kick on its own. Second half of this bar. 1, 2. Whole bar then. 42. First half followed by second half. Alright, second bar of this guitar solo, 43, goes. So ride bell all the way here. 1 and 2 and for the first half. So regular 8s, 1 and 2 and 1. Second half. 3 and 4. A little bit of linear drumming here. No 2 notes playing together. The notes are in a line. 3 and 4 and. So first half. Second half. The whole of bar 43 now. Okay, 42, 43 on the loop. Here we go. go again. Next bit, 44 and 45, go. Well, that's cool, isn't it? We've seen that before. 40, that's the same as 42, and then 45. 1 and 2 hands. So the same start as bar 43, but then in the second half, 3, 4. That's on a floor tom, space number 2, right? So going from the bottom upwards, musicians usually order the lines and spaces from the bottom upwards. This is space number 2, as in the floor tom. Space 1 will be the kick, space 2 is the floor tom. This bar goes. Okay, so 44 and 45 on a loop. Do my 1 bar break. We go 3, 4. One last time. Okay, first line of the guitar solo, 44 to 45. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Okay, 46 and 47 now is a 2-bar phrase. And the really good news is it's the same as what we saw in the line above, isn't it? So it's the same as the first 2 bars of the guitar solo. You play that 2-bar phrase twice in this line. So 46 and 47 and 48 and 49 are that 2-bar phrase played twice. I'll play from 46 then to 49. Here we go. Here's the whole guitar solo one last time. People sometimes ask me about which stick should I hit the crashes with. Don't think it matters, man. Make it work. Figure out a way. If it sounds good, you're doing it right. Right. Next bit, the keyboard solo goes. Pretty nice compared to the other sections, I reckon. Nice straight 8s on the ride. First couple of bars, so 50 and 51. Again, 3, 4. So a little bit of syncopated bass drum there on the and, but again, nothing out of the way for grade 4. When you get to the end, you've got the classic grade 1 rhythm figure of 4-ander, the 8th and 2/16. They're floor toms at the end, watch out for that. One last time, 50 and 51. Next 2. So first bar here, same as 50. 1, 2, 3. Then you've got 1, 2. That kick on the and of 2 is new, isn't it? First half of bar 53. And the second half you've got 3 and 8th note, 2/16 notes. Effectively, they've written it as a quarter note on the ride, and with a 8th note rest underneath, then 2/16 here. But effectively, 3-ander, and then 4-ander. Second half of bar 53. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. then of bar 53. And again, same bar. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to do 52 and 53. And now I'm going to do the whole first line of the keyboard solo, 50 to 50 to 53. Now 54, same sort of thing. This is almost the same two bars as you've just played, isn't it? This is 54 and 55, almost the same as 52 and 53, right? The only difference is 55, in the first half is missing a kick on the and of beat 2, and in the second half, rather than playing and a 4 and a like we played in 53, this is just and a 4 E and a straight 16ths. 54 and 55. Okay, last two of this little section, 56 and 57. Are the same as the two directly above it, aren't they? So 56 and 57, same as 52 and 53. Then you're in the clear, man. You can do your own thing. I'll play the keyboard solo all the way through one time again. And then you're in the clear, you've got similar. Enjoy yourself, have some fun. Basically groove here with the same sorts of fills. It's not a drum solo, but it's just the same sort of thing, man. So. So bar 65 now, crotchet triplets or quarter note triplets. If you're doing this series of grades and you did grade 3, Sweet Child of Mine, this has the same note value in it. 1 triplet, 3 triplet, right? Crash for the kick, 2 high toms, 2 mid toms, a floor tom, then a big roll. So. Big thing to remember about those is they're evenly spaced out notes. Now a triplet is 3 notes in the space of where you normally find 2, right? So 8th notes are probably the simplest example. Regular 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8th note triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. So coffee and cucumber respectively. When you've got quarter notes, it's a bit more tricky, the maths I guess, a bit less instinctive I think, but you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for regular quarter notes. Quarter note triplets, well 3 in the place of 2, so you've got 3 notes in the first half of the bar and 3 notes in the second. 1 triplet, then a big cymbal roll. Then basically the intro again. You've got that same 71 and 72, then you've got, which is the same as it was earlier. The chorus is the same as it was before, so you're pretty much done here. And right at the end, we finish with 1 big snare drum flam on beat 2. Here's the last line. Finish on beat 2 at the end. Hope that's all cool. That is, of course, Jump by Van Halen, a classic tune. I can only repeat the stuff I said earlier because this is the conversation I've had maybe not hundreds of times, but so many times in these sessions, man. And it's just really what I want to do is reassure you that these the pre-chorus and guitar solo sections, and maybe keyboard solo, if you're finding them what people say tricky or hard, or you're saying the phrase "I'm struggling," you're not struggling. And what that comes from is something that I've just seen all over the place, and I find this massively helpful in my own life, honestly, as well, because I realise other times not to do with drumming where I'm thinking like this. I think it comes from the perception that it's like musicians are supposed to just play stuff straight away. That's performing. This is learning, man. So this is like, you've got to just take your time with this, go through it. You can totally do it. Like, break these things down like we've done here. It might be that one practice session, you're literally doing a bar or two, but stick at it and be consistent, and very quickly, the results will come. The other thing I like to think about here is, remember, and music isn't a competition. This is a really important thing to say. Music isn't a competition, but when you're doing this sort of stuff, and you have that, when you're practicing like the pre-chorus, for example, and you have that feeling of, oh, this is hard, and your brain's sort of going, oh, why don't you just go and do something else instead? Well, go and play a video game. When you have that feeling of like, oh, this is hard, remember that all around you, people are stopping and going and playing a video game, or going and doing something else, or sitting in front of the TV, or just not bothering, or doing something different. If you're that person who perseveres, and I'm trying to live my life by this anyway. Genius is basically just perseverance in disguise most of the time. Keep going, and you will get it. And there is no magic. Just keep going, and it will come together. And I always think when you're trying these tricky sections, and you get that feeling of, oh, this is hard. Remember, all around you are people falling away at that point. People who sort of breeze through grade 1 and grade 2. All around you are people stopping, giving up, saying it's too hard. And be that person who says, no, I'm going to persevere with this, because that's how you get somewhere, isn't it? Not just with drumming, but with anything, I think. So persevere with that, because there are some challenging bits in here. Of course, the reward for persevering with the challenging bit is you get a really cool sounding thing. And who doesn't want to be able to play Jump by Van Halen? Come on, man. If you get a gig, like I do a lot, playing at a wedding, at a function, like whatever, parties, corporate gigs, whatever, man, this song's going to come up again and again. And if you've got this up your sleeve, you're in business. Thanks so much. Any questions, give us a shout, and I'll see you soon. Thanks a million.